What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy August 5th, Monday morning, new week to get cash after coming off a very, very frustrating Friday. Ended up 4-5 in MLB, went 0-2 in CFL over the weekend, had a bad Saturday at Saratoga. I'm itching to get back at it, but a little angry at how everything broke down. I ended up not taking those overs on Friday in the White Sox Twins game. I was going to double up first 5 full game. I ended up staying completely off because a bunch of sharp cappers were on the under. Those easily went over. I took the Padres first 5 and full game cashed easily against the Dodgers, but I took first 5 and Bellinger hit a 2-run shot in the bottom of the 5th to screw me over there. And I started the day so well, doubling up on the Cubs. And so I feel a little refreshed not capping baseball, well, not betting baseball Saturday and Sunday. And I didn't even take the under in Sunday Night Baseball, thankfully, because that would have made me even angrier. Tough day at Saratoga. And 0-2 in CFL, and that first under was ridiculous with the unlucky special team scores that went against me. But I'm back, and it's Monday, and I'm excited to be here with you guys. Thank you guys so much for joining us today on this Monday. Astute Chaos, Bookie Lover Q, Aaron Bistron saying White Sox dog of the day yesterday. Love what Ronaldo is doing in the second half. Young bets heating up. We got Carlos Peroge. She's cheesy balls. I'll finally get to meet Carlos Peroge in Miami in what? It's the 5th, so I'll be there in 13 days. I roll into Miami to party with everybody. I'm so excited about that. We got Nut Flush Allen, another guy you'll see in Miami. We got at Young Chillionaire. We got I'll Get You Next Week. Douglas Robinson, Ty Clinton, Antoine Seymour. We got Shadow in the house. Justin Grammer, Mr. Spectacular, Joe DeLeon. Nut Flush Allen says Friday recap. Boston scoring first. Aaron Brooks scoring first. Giants good value loss. Still profit. Good job. Good job overall. Serious business, Joe DeLeon, Nutflush on Von Polo, ready to go. Brandon Lugo, Brooke Jordan, Sean Watson, Anil Frank, Omar Ahmed, ready to go to work. Juan Ruiz, and Merrick in the house. Had small loss on UFC, got boned by some bad ring IQ, but my 2-unit plays are 100%. Shevchenko cashed easy. Yes, a lot of you guys and myself cashed on Shevchenko. Great work from a lot of our analysts. We had Anna Merrick double uniting it. We had the fight analyst as his play of the day. We had Mississippi Kid saying, please take Shevchenko. It all worked out well. There's Matt Randall. Said, good morning. The taint has been tainted lately. My drive to put money in our pockets won't stop, though. We'll work harder. We believe in you, Matt Randall. There's Rich G, Brandon Lugo. All right, let's get to work. Ilya Katz, Jim Rome's the deuce. Sparks -1 plus 200 last night. Wow. Beautiful. Kevin Pine said Boston is the cleanest city in the U.S. Just got swept, and they've lost 8 in a row. Okay, so this is the spot. We do have a WNBA game that is concluding. I believe it's the Earthquake game. I haven't looked too much into it. We'll talk about that on the Late Show. But we do have 16 MLB games on this Monday. So we have a giant Monday card. Traditionally, historically, over the last, forever since I've come down here, Mondays have been my strongest day because you come in refreshed. But also, we've been very good on Mondays, but we've also been dealing with smaller cards. Now we have a giant Monday card, but it's the only thing we need to focus on today is baseball. Let's get after it. Mr. Jocelyn, 8-3 on MLB as a plus 5.6 units. Beautiful. Poppy Longwood says, Jimmy, we need the taint to be great again. Let's get it going. I believe in the taint. And Poppy Longwood, 69. You want to party with him? Miami. Jim Rome's the douche. Rip, Bo Sox, and Phillies. I like seeing that. I'm not a fan of either club. Okay, let's get to work. Now we have a doubleheader, and it opens with a day game. It's our only day game, Marlins at Mets. Marlins at Mets. And then one just reminder, the only business we really need to clean up either is we have round 3 Saratoga. I was so discouraged by Saratoga on Saturday. I haven't even looked at who's leading after the second round. That's just me being a whiny bitch. I will go and look over all those numbers and give them on the Late Show. And then also, if you want to still come to Miami, you can still get the rate, not through the link. So if you still want a hotel room in Miami, get in touch with me. I can still hook it up, but that link is no longer. But Miami's still available. All right, let's get to work right now. Belvin Batanta says, I'm seeing WNBA was suspended today on my score app. Yes, it's that game. It's that game, the earthquake game stopped when I was about to cash with the Mystics. Well, I shouldn't say that. I guess it was second quarter, but they were up heavy. And then the earthquake stopped. So I'm not entirely sure how they're going to handle that game. We'll talk more about that in the afternoon show. But for now, we focus solely on baseball. And Drew Martin will be joining us in 38 minutes, Rafa. So we'll bring him in at 10:45 our time. 10:45 our time. All right, let's get to work. Rich G says, Mets have been mashing teams all over. Catch in the second inning yesterday. DJ Big Boss says, what up, though? Come to Miami. And Tormino says, Cubs, we take first in the division. They should have a good chance to build the lead this week. St. Louis at the Dodgers. They should, but the A's concern me. But yes, we jumped on. I put 2 units. It's my first 2-unit bet of the year. Unbelievable. First, but $250, not that much money. But I put $250 on the Cubs to win the division. And with your help too, Tomor, what about 2 weeks ago at plus 130? So I feel good about that. Okay, and Anna Merrick says the Arizona State Poker Championship is this weekend. Last night I won a ticket to the 1100 buy-in by winning a 130 satellite. I'm going to need low baggers, luck, and run good. Oh, Anna Merrick, that is so exciting. That is so exciting, man. And Eddie Euler says, hey guys, I'm now 21-6 in CFL. Eddie Euler, help me, because I've completely fallen apart. And you know what bothered me so much was I said to Al when Al was on Montreal, and that's, when sharp cappers are on one side, I've been staying off the other side, and that, I'm sure that will help me long run. But I was all over Ottawa. I told you how my friend was taking the money line. I was like, Davis is back and they're going to be rolling. And I didn't take Montreal, but I didn't take Ottawa. And they were within the total, the 6.5 or whatever it was, 7.5 at times. But wherever you got it all game long and then won in overtime, very, very disappointing. Jeff Joseph said, Jimmy, looking forward to the Travers coming to the conclusion that post positions will play a significant role, especially for maximum security. It is going to be it's the biggest race of the year so far. I mean, I know that the derbies are more important, but I haven't seen a race with more talent in it all year than the Travers Stakes. But Jeff, I need some guidance this Saturday. I've been beaten just barely 2 weeks ago, but beaten badly on Saturday by Saratoga, and I need to get my fucking revenge. All right, FSU Chatfield says checking in before practice. Checking in before practice is FSU Chatfield says, ladies and gentlemen, wish everyone great success. Thank you for checking in, FSU Chatfield. All right, let's let Aaron Bistrin break us into this first game. Rob Portwando, Mets run line game 1. Red Sox run line, Tampa Bay run line, Yankees run line, off to work. Good luck. And Nova Sports is on Mets to score first. Nova Sports, Rob Portwando getting us started. I will copy and paste those 2 plays, and then we'll let Aaron Bistrin lead us into our breakdowns for game 1. We are not going to break down game 2 until the late show in hopes that it's because the late game starts 30 minutes after the first game, but I'm sure it'll start after 7. Okay, Aaron Bistrin says Alcantara struggled against the Twins last time out. Mets have similar power bats. Could get ugly quick. Dom Reach said, I took over 7.5 Mets game 1. Dom, happy Monday to you. Can't wait to hang with you, man. I can't fucking wait to hang with you in Miami. I'm so excited. I can't tell you the privilege it is going to be to sit in between Dom and Ragu and talk gambling until dawn. Okay, Dom says, I took over 7.5 Mets game 1. Mets pen has the worst numbers when DeGrom pitches. Mets average 5.88 runs per game last 10. 3 out of the wild card bats should hit Alcantara. Yes, Jeff, we need redemption. The biggest mistake I made, and it was a small mistake. There was 2 big mistakes I made. I didn't want to get into it necessarily, but the one thing was not trusting Cassie. I'm gonna stop doing that. If it's a best trainer in the world and his horse has been scratched by a vet 2 weeks before, I'm gonna trust that Cassie has him ready to go. Because Got Stormy was unbelievably spectacular, and I was like, oh, but he got scratched by the vet 2 weeks ago. Just stupid. So, but I don't want to get into it. I'll get really angry about mistakes I made on Saturday that I need redemption for. Okay, Marlins, Mets, 84 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy, 5 miles per hour, sideways out to left field. Marlins 20-32 on the road. The Mets are rolling and 28-20 at home. This is Alcantara. Alcantara, 2 things about Alcantara that are extremely important. One is, earlier in the year, he couldn't. So really 3. Let's say 3 important things about Alcantara. One is earlier in the year, he was terrible on the road. He fixed that. Secondly, he's been terrible since the All-Star break. And thirdly, he's been very good all year in day games. Very good all year in day games. Let's break this stuff down here. Let me get sorry, I don't have Sportsbook Review up here. My fault. Here, let's get sportsbookreview.com. Get the SBR odds up right now, and here we go. So the Mets are enormous favorites. And I don't see any of you guys. Oh, I think, was it Ralph on the Mets run line? Sorry, did Ralph Portuano take the Mets run line? Ralph Portuano took Mets run line in game 1. I mean, at this point, with DeGrom, 10 starts at home this year. He's 2-4 with an ERA over 3. I believe it's 3.25. So I'm not going to take DeGrom. I mean, it opened at minus 330. It's now minus 310. So a 20-cent move back to the Marlins, which is what I expect. Shout out to Nasty Nate in the house. Tormenos says Alcantara is in bad form, but against DeGrom in the pitcher's park, I think he has a better start here. He has good numbers against the Mets. Goose is on Marlins plus 1.5. Justin Graham says the last Mets game at home this early was a blowout in their favor. Astute Chaos making 2-team total plays. Alex Mabry looking at the over. Going to copy and paste that. All right, let's get it. So, and we know that Suelo's hurt. Sorry, let me just do some copy and pasting. Multitasking here. Brandon Lugo says Mets run line too pricey. I want nothing to do with it. I want nothing to do with that Mets run line. So both teams were on the road Sunday. Mets won their 4th straight series. They beat up on the Pirates 13-2. Marlins fell to Tampa 7-2. 4 teams still between the Mets and the second wild card. The 6 teams. Now, another thing to remember about the Mets. Now, I know they've been playing very, very well, but the 6 teams New York has faced in the second half are 53-79 since the All-Star break. Pirates, Padres, White Sox are 16-50 in the second half. DeGrom's been excellent. 1 earned run in his last 21 innings, but as we talked about, his own home record, not as good as road record. Marlins lost Sunday, was their 4th in their last 5. They probably lost Cesar Puello. Robinson Cano exited Sunday's game with a left hamstring. Alcantara allowed 7 earned runs in 4 2/3 last start versus the Twins. In 21 2/3 post All-Star break innings, he's got a 7.89 ERA. Von Burgess says Mets 3-1. Tomino says I'd lean under. And Don Reach says, I won't even bet Mets in these spots for me. It's total or nothing. That makes sense. And then CT Bay's talking about Alcantara's day ERA, which I spoke on right off the top. 2.63 ERA during the day, 5.36 at night. And before I make a move on this game, our guy Matt Randall starting the week with a taint play of the day. White Sox, Tigers under 9. 2-week offenses, 2 very solid pitchers. Giolito was dominant versus very good Mets lineup last out. I don't see him struggling at Comerica Park here. Yeah, going up against Spencer Turnbull. Very interesting. And Eddie Euler liking the DeGrom over. I like that look. I'm going to copy and paste that right now. Bring it in. And there we go. Okay. Back to this Marlins spot. I think that DeGrom will pitch well. I think this Marlins lineup they're dealing with injuries. So are the Mets without Cano. All that said and done, I'm leaning towards the under. And Ilya Cat says, tailed the taint already. Attaboy, Ilya. Tomino says, Mets bullpen isn't getting exposed because the starters are pitching great. Their bullpen is still an issue. I'm going to take this first 5 under. What was the weather? It was 5 miles per hour sideways out to left field, so sideways out. Astute Chaos with 2 more. PD Pick saying Spencer Turnbull coming off the 2-week IL. And he hasn't won at home all year. 0-5 at home, Spencer Turnbull, but he's been their best pitcher, arguably. Okay, I'm going to jump on, and Marlins super run line plus 2.5. I hear you, Antoine. I mean, I just hate turning favorites or dogs into favorites, but I'm going to take the under 4, I think. I'm very curious to see why other books, because everything's moving towards the under in that first 5. See what Pinnacle's done with it. Yeah, Pinnacle brought it down to 3.5 at 6:23 this morning. So money's coming back in on the over, and it dropped to 3.5 again. What? Wow, dropped to 3.5 again an hour ago, and then money starts coming in on the over 4. I'm on the under 4. There's Twatty Latte in the house. Shout out to my guy Twatty Latte. And I have no memory of our show together on Wednesday whatsoever. Nasty Nate says Mets no score in the first inning. David Jordan, Mets team total over 4.5. I am taking the first 5 under 4. That is the first 5 under 4 at plus 102. Getting plus 102 at Pinnacle. William Hill's hanging out at 3.5 still. Under 4 at plus 102. All right. Let's make the moves. Twatty Latte. Capper investment play of the day. Toronto team total over 2.5 at minus 135. Wow. Toronto team total over 2.5 at minus 135. Thank you for sharing that with us. Twatty Latte. All right. I'm on the first 5, under 4 at a plus line, plus 102. Rich G says I'm also on that. Twatty, thank you for letting us know. Rich G, my guy, whom I now follow on Twitter. All right, that's your day game. Alex Mabry says Matt's bets are hot. Be careful. Robinson Cano's been hot, and he's not going to be in the lineup. It's a day game, start of a doubleheader. You could see a weaker lineup. You won't see Cano in it. You know, Alcantara's been very good in day games. He got over that whole road issue he had early in the year. I'm going to give it a shot. Paco Healy in the house. Shout out to our guy, Paco Healy. Says heartbreaking loss for the Padres yesterday. Well, it's nice to know that you still care about the Friars because many of us, anytime when teams make these huge offseason splashes like Harper with the Phillies and Machado with the Padres, if you just blindly take their team total under, you're always going to get extra value on it for the season, and I probably should have done. Okay, shout out to Paco Healy, our Padres expert. Looking forward to what he has to say on the game today. Brewers at Pirates. Brewers in a tailspin. Just got swept by the Cubbies. 24-32 on the road. And the Pirates, both teams are just trash. 24-29 at home. 82 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 4 miles per hour sideways. Jordan Lyles, 6-7, 5.15 ERA. His second run around with the Brewers, going up against his old team, the Pirates. Dario Agrizal looked so good starting, but just like many young pitchers, you get a little tape on him, he starts getting touched, and he is being touched. Dirty Will saying, Cincy, first 5. What's your thoughts? We will get to that game shortly. Mr. Jocelyn on Detroit, Chicago, under 5, first 5. And Christopher Smith is on the Mets run line. I mean, even that is so juiced. And the Stu Cass, don't trust Turnbull. I was leading White Sox team total over 4.5. White Sox are hitting right now. Okay. Brewers rating 247, 771 OPS first righties. Pirates rating 272, 776 OPS first righties. And Eddie Oler says Mark Lawrence picked the Pirates today. Shout out to Mark Lawrence. Great capper. I wish he was going to be at Gulfstream when we were there. I was broken-hearted when I heard he would be in Vegas. But Twatty Latte says Pirates will smash Lyles. I agree with that. I agree that the Pirates will smash Lyles. And can the Brewers wake up against Agrisol, or should we just not trust them? Should we just not trust them? There's Mr. Gokster in the house. Antoine Seymour is on the Pirates team total over 4.5. Tom Marino says Pirates are interesting, but Agrisol can't be trusted. Strikeout numbers are too low. There's a few of those guys in today's card that strikeouts numbers are too low. I'm happy that Tomor is here in the house with us. Okay, let's look at full game money lines and totals in this Pirates-Brewers spot and then go over it a little more. Milwaukee opens up at minus 135. They're now at minus 140, a 5-cent move towards them. This total opened up at 9 and it's now at 10. So I've missed that. I like the Pirates as a home dog here. Now the Pirates have lost. There's Maxwell Smart in the house. My guy, Maxwell Smart in the house. I was just talking about you to Larry 20 minutes ago, right before the start of the show. Max, okay. Okay. Sorry. Guru says, don't let the game against the A's fool you. The A's were in a hitting slump, needed a day off. Friday, got it Friday. Bats woke up. Thomas said, I'd lean over. Okay, yes, no doubt. Over is the lean, but it's been missed. You had to take it before it's gone up a full run, so you just can't take it now. It's only gone up a half run at Pinnacle, so that makes me feel better. Let's see how BetOnline handled this over, how long they had the over 9 up for. BetOnline over 9 was up for 50 minutes or 45 minutes. And Jin Rummy's made a good point about how I focus on the BetOnline numbers, and it might be a sort of a mistake. And Pete sort of touched on it too last year, but you can't, when BetOnline puts out their first number, you can't go make a $5,000 bet on it. There's limits as soon as they put out their number. They still have balls for being first to the market, but you can't make these giant bets on it. Book of Love Q said, Brewers love to beat up on my Pirates, my only concern. Optimus Prime says, Pirates a dead dog, beware. Antonio says, Milwaukee should hit Agrisol. I guess if it's only gone up a half run, what's the weather like? 4 miles per hour sideways. Since the start of 2017, the Pirates are 17-10 against the Brewers at PNC. They've outscored them 122-108. They took 2 of 3 July 5th to 7th. Lyles 1-5 with a 6.99 ERA, 13 career appearances, 8 of them starts. Agrizal lost past 2 starts, giving up 8 runs, 5 homers in those contests. And Maxwell Smart says, watching North Florida versus Puerto Rico College. Oh, that's so dope. I can't wait to cap NCAA basketball with our guy Maxwell Smart this year. Guru Sports says, I watched the entire Oakland game. He left plenty of pitches over the plate. Ace just didn't hit him. Yeah, okay. It's only gone up a half run in Milwaukee, and I'm sure it'll just continue to go up. But let's first take a look at the team totals. Before I make a move on this over, let's take a look at the team totals. Although, and I guess the fact is that Agrizal just can't be trusted. So even though the Pirates are an interesting dog, if Agrizal can't be trusted, then you don't want to put your money on him. Over 4.5 at plus 102 is the Pirates team total over. Oh, I like that, Twatty. All right, Pirates team total over 4.5 at plus 102. And then I will also take this full game over. Over 10. Over 10. Now, clearly my anger over what went on for me this weekend has gotten in the way of me making some early bets, which Jin Rummy's probably shaking his head right now, and understandably so. I mean, you have to get this at 9.5, and the baseball god should probably leave this. The final score should probably be 6-4 in this game, so that I learn my lesson. But I will be taking the over 10 here, over 10 at plus 100 at Heritage, over 10 at plus 100. So 2 plus lines: Brewers over 10 at plus 100, Pirates team total over 4.5 at plus 102. Dom Reach says the series is huge for the Brewers season. It is. Tom Marino says Pirates offense is solid. They lead the National League in hitting with runners in scoring position. All right, so let's keep rolling. We've got plays on the first 3 games. And what really bothered me on Friday on the late show was that I had such a nice read on the early card, and then on the late card I started reaching. I did get the first 5 under 5.5 in that Phillies-White Sox game. That was at a plus line. But then I missed out on some overs. That Cincinnati-Atlanta game was 5-1 after 5 and couldn't get me to the 9.5. And that Jays-Orioles, it was a mistake when I knew that Greg Peterson was on the under. It was a mistake taking the over. There were mistakes made and made me very, very upset. Speaking of that, sorry I haven't shown my record after the 4-5, and this even makes me fucking angry, and I'm going to try not to be too angry. I've been angry for a couple weeks now, and I need Miami to make this anger go away. 4-5 on Friday, and then took Saturday and Sunday off. 4-5, and I was 2-0 after that Cubs game. So in all honor, really, I was 2-5 on those late games. And I had such a good read on Ross for the Nationals throwing a gem. But when the pitching change happened, I didn't want the plus 110 from the 140 I got. Just anger. And I'm 4-0 in the DJ Big Boss contest. That makes me so angry. It makes me so angry, and it's my fault, and it's like just reaching, and reaching is a part of laziness or a need for some excitement at night when you've gone off to a nice start. Okay, I'm going to stop whining like a little bitch. Let's move on to Yankees-Orioles. Yankees 29-21 on the road. Orioles 17-38 at home. 85 Fahrenheit, overcast, 4 miles per hour, sideways. There is not rain in the forecast in any of these games this evening. So let's look at money lines and totals. First off, the total opened at 11. It's now down to 10.5. The Yankees opened at minus 260. They're now at minus 243. When I look at this, thank you, Walla Walla Dose. We are one good day away from being in a great mood. I love you, Walla Walla Dose. You are great energy in the chat, and I needed to see this. Thank you. Darmy says, when will I leave Sunday alone, period, in baseball? Chad Kent said Pirates will be one of the worst teams in the league. This is also the worst. Okay. Justin Grammer says, when is the NFL team total show and props going to happen? You're right, Justin. I mean, our very first live Audible is tomorrow. So the Audible starts up tomorrow. It's the Tuesdays and Fridays for the next 6 months. But when are we going to do that? It's a very good question, and I will look into it. Okay, Max Smart, my guy. Okay. So Joe De Leon says Yankees win against Orioles. Sure they do. But Tanaka's being so vulnerable. Is it worth taking a shot? Now, Eddie Ola is saying Inoa 0.9 ERA last 5 small sample size. Is it worth taking a shot with the Orioles' first 5? Is it worth doing this? Yankees hitting 273, 25 OPS versus righties. They just sweep Red Sox in 4 games. Now they come to Camden. Are they going to be... It just feels like a letdown spot all over it. Joe De Leon says, I heard Eno is only pitching up to 3 or so innings, and then Orioles are calling a bullpen pitch day or bullpen day after that. Is there value on the Orioles' first 5? Tormino says, yeah, Orioles always play the Yankees tough. I'd lean their team total over 3.5. Oh, Joe and Easy, I won enough money this weekend to pay for Miami, baby. That's what I like to hear, Joe. That's what I like to hear. God, I can't wait to be at the track with all you guys too, man. You know the Gulfstream racetrack is right behind our hotel. Now it's still just because the blocks are giant. It takes it's like a $5 Uber ride or whatever, but it's like right behind our hotel. Okay. Jamal says this should be batting practice for the Yankees, especially Gleyber Torres. Gleyber's hurt. Okay, let's talk about some of this stuff going on. So yesterday, Torres and Urshela both left Sunday's game due to injuries. Urshela, the update was very good. Torres is not going to be in the line. Now, he did travel with the Orioles, but I don't see how he's going to be in the lineup. So Aaron Hicks, we know he's gone, but the news back about Aaron Hicks was better than we thought. Now it's just 7 to 10 days. We thought he could be done for the year. We know Edwin Encarnacion, hairline fracture, right wrist, he's gone. So Didi Gregorius came back Sunday after sitting out 3 games with an injury to his pinky fingers and left ring finger. Tanaka 5-3, 3.44 ERA versus Baltimore. Eno a 3.12 ERA in 3 career games against the Yankees. The more I say this, the more I feel like the O's give us value first 5. I mean, let's cut the sample size, or let's cut the size of the bet as small as possible. And before I make this move and before I even give out a line, let's know exactly how bad Tanaka has been of late. Let's do that right now. We're going to look at Tanaka right now. Tanaka, and if it's so bad, let's look at Eno as well. So we're going to start with Tanaka. Here we go. Tanaka, 2 earned runs and 4 at home versus Arizona. 82 pitches to get through 4 innings, and they pulled him because they're scared. Before that, he goes 12 earned runs and 3 1/3 against Boston. 5 earned runs. Now that was at Coors Field. 2 earned runs against Toronto. Against Baltimore, he's gone 11 2/3, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 10 Ks. I mean, yeah, he's looked good. But is this a guy you want to trust? Let's look at Enoa. Here we go with Enoa. Enoa, last few starts, he's been going very short, but he's looked fine. I mean, he's allowed 1 earned run in his last 5 appearances. Now, sure, those 5 appearances are just 10 innings worth. But I don't know. Juan Ruiz says, yeah, blocks are huge. I can't believe Juan Ruiz. Man, I can't wait to party with Juan Ruiz. So huge. It can be sunshine on US 1 and tropical depression 5 blocks over. Part of the Sunshine State's charm. Oh, man. Antoine Seymour says, Jimmy, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know, let's just take a look at what we get. First 5, money line first with the Orioles. First 5, money line, you're getting plus 190. If you want a plus a half run, you're still getting plus 135, plus 140 at William Hill. Boogie Lover Q said the baby mama got Tanaka stressed out. That's very possible. We got next says, yes, Orioles first 5 is a good bet. So the question is, would you guys prefer to take for the big score at plus 197, or would you prefer to take them plus a half at plus 135? And I guess you need to go for the score. You just need to go for the score here, I think. I think it doesn't make sense to go for the plus 135 plus a half. You need to go for a score here. All right, let's look at what's movement has happened on this. Oh, Juan, I can't wait, Juan. I just can't wait. I'm being a little disgruntled lately. I just can't wait to get to Miami. Okay, here we go. It opened at plus 190. Bookmakers moved at 15 cents to plus 205. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait. Let's see, if money's coming in on the Yankees first 5, then why wouldn't I just wait? I guess that's not, yeah. Open up plus 191 for the Orioles. It's now up to plus 197. Walla Walla Dos got first 5 run line for Baltimore at plus 120. I'm not sure what book you are talking about because I could give you all the books here that I didn't see anything as low as plus 120. Here we go for the first 5 Orioles. I have plus 135 at all the books except plus 130 at Bovada and plus 140 at William Hill. Guru Sportsbet says never take the plus 5. They either get to Tanaka or they don't at all and lose. And Lamont Williams is max betting those Rays who seem to always have the Jays number. And we've had some people already come in. Twadi, Capper Investments best play is the team total over 2.5, which I like. I mean, come on, the offense seems to be rolling right now. Okay, look, I believe in this spot. I just feel like this is your classic letdown spot. Your classic letdown spot, and I'm taking it. If I just stop being such a pussy around these dogs here in baseball, this just, to me, screams letdown spot. Screams it. Chad Kent says lean to late show. But I don't know if I truly think that this is a letdown spot and money will come in. You know what? I'm just going to take it now and lock it in so that I don't sit there and get scared all afternoon. Plus 205 is being hung at Bookmaker. Let me see how big the market move is at Bookmaker. If at Bookmaker, it's just a huge move towards the... No, see, it's already been at 205 3 times. I'm going to take it. Orioles, first 5 at plus 205. All right, let's get after it. It's Monday. Let's not be scared. White Sox Tigers, we already know that the taint play of the day is on the under here. 86 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 7 miles per hour in. Nutflush on said, Caden's still pissed about Miami, so he said last night, Dad, are you going to swim at the beach in Miami? I said, yeah, and he proceeded to show me videos how close the sharks swim on at that beach. Yes, well, we do have a pool, but I think it probably is for the best that we don't go much more than waist deep. But listen, if I was to get eaten by a shark when we go to Miami, that's not a bad way to go out, man. Your legend will grow if you get eaten by a shark. I don't think there's really... there's nothing to lose, basically. But I'm not going to swim too deep. Okay. Gate Pass Key says, if you want Baltimore, take them now. It makes sense. I think so, too. Okay. Mr. Wishpacker says, scared money don't make money. Let's get after it. Okay. Austin Cavazzi says, Mets get upset, not Yanks. Tomino says, Morton was great before going on injured reserve. I think that's a high variance spot. I need plus money to back the Jays on the team total. Interesting. I hear what you're saying. But 2.5 is a pretty nice line. Okay, let's get to work. Turnbull versus Giolito. Giolito, 11.5, 3.39 ERA, 1.11 whip, 124 and 2/3, 150 Ks, 45 walks, 14 home runs. He really stepped up last start against the Mets. He really stepped up. It was very impressive, and I was against him. It was against DeGrom, and I had the Mets first 5 minus a half, and I lost that. It was 1-1 after 5. Giolito stepped up in a big spot and showed me a lot. Spencer Turnbull, 3-9, 3.65 ERA, 1.36 whip, 98 and 2/3, 88 Ks, 38 walks, 9 homers, coming off the IL. And he looked bad in those 2 road starts before he went on the IL. 7 earned runs in 9 combined innings. At home, he's 0-5 with a 4.09 ERA. Mally Mal says White Sox first 5. White Sox words first 5. You know, I don't know what to make about Spencer coming in off the IL and this Tigers team that's completely given up. But I would say that I like the White Sox, after taking 2 or 3 from the Phillies, to keep playing well. Let's go to full game money lines and totals. Full games money line and totals. Wow, money coming in on the Tigers. That's interesting. There's been a 10-cent move towards the Tigers, and Pinnacle's also moving this up. Bookmaker still 8.5. Same with Bet Online, but all the other books at 9. Well, I'm going to... Alex said, you get eaten by a shark, Jimmy. Maybe you'll be on Shark Week next summer. You're right. Oh, mine. If I get eaten by a shark, dude, I become a legend. A legend. I'm not the least of my fears. You know, that's no way. It's not a bad way to go out. Okay. So DJ Big Boss says, if I get eaten by a shark, just make sure you delete my recent history on my phone. No problem, DJ Big Boss. I will do that. That'll be the first thing. You know what? I'll throw the phone after you at the shark. That's what I'll do. Okay. Matt Reynolds says, parlay to taint with the White Sox money line. You know what? I just want to... Eddie Oil says, White Sox 4-1 last 5 meetings. You know, Aaron Bishop says, as Jimmy would say, going back to the well with White Sox, got to run to work. Best of luck, low back time. Aaron, thank you so much for stopping by. Tomor says, I leaned White Sox team total over. They've been hitting better. Good idea, Tomor. Let's see what that's at right now. White Sox, it's at 4.5 at minus 110. I'm just the fact that this money's coming in on the Tigers is going to make me wait, is what it's going to do. So I'm certainly leaning towards the White Sox first 5 in full game, but seeing this money, I'm going to wait. Sportsman of the Year says, hey, Jimmy, I need to know which site is the best for online betting. All the different top sites all do something, all do different things for you. But I would say, if I was to say which two books should you have for sure, I mean, it depends also what country you're in. Sportsman of the Year, what country are you in? That will change things well. Let us know what country you're in, and some of the chat guys in the chat will let you know. But I was going to say, probably Five Dimes and Pinnacle. But Pinnacle's a site you want to have just to advantage bet against the other sites. So we'll talk more about that. Cheryl, you are very, very kind, Cheryl. But come on, if I got eaten by a shark, I mean, that shit would skyrocket. Okay. Let's move on right now. So I'm definitely leaning to the White Sox, but that market move towards the Tigers just gives me pause, so I'm going to wait. Let's move on to Royals, Red Sox. What do we do with these Boston Red Sox? I'd be very curious to hear what you guys have to say about the Red Sox. Very interesting. Worst losing streak since 2015. They've lost 8 straight. Porcello, second worst ERA in major leagues amongst qualified starters. 79 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 7 miles per hour, sideways out to left field. Red Sox, can you believe at this point in the year? I mean, just shocking. 56 games into their home schedule, and they have 27 wins. It's just shocking. Montgomery, 7.94 ERA, 1.76 whip. He looked good in one of his 3 starts for the Royals. Royals rating 251, 721 OPS versus righties, 257, 784 OPS versus lefties for these Red Sox. FFC Chatfield says over. Eddie Oilers says Royals, Red Sox over. Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you. Nutflush Alan says team total over for the Sox. Alex Mabry says we fade them. That's what we do. Guru says don't touch them with a 10-foot pole. That's what you do. Lamont Williams says what's the solo over for the New York Yankees? The solo over at Pinnacle for the Yankees is 6.5 and minus 102. The market gets tight this time of year, man. Sportsman of the Year says Red Sox come out of their funk today. Eddie Oilers says Royals, Red Sox, first 5 over. Everyone over. Wow, interesting. I don't know how you guys can trust these Red Sox bats right now when they could be giving up a bit. And this is I don't expect JD Martinez, some of these guys to go all out right now. Ronnie P says stay away, and that's what I'm leaning towards. Stu Chaos says, yeah, I'm off. Alex Mabry on Kansas City +1. Let's look at what the market move has been on this game anyways. Here we go. KC Royals, Boston Red Sox. The total opened at 11.5. It was juiced to the over at minus 120. It's now juiced to the under at minus 117. So a 17-cent move towards the under. Interesting. The Red Sox open up at minus 213, and they're now at minus 241. As always, market move towards the Red Sox. 28-cent move towards the Red Sox. Joey Nisi says, taint is what? The taint is the under in White Sox Tigers. Very interesting play. Thomas says, this looks like a good spot for Porcello. He's been much better at home. KC offense is terrible. I'd lean Boston at minus 2. Wow. Lamont Williams says, I love it, Jimmy. New York can get 7 runs. Wow. Ray Williams says, World Series hangover. Fade them. Rich G said, Montgomery gets shelled on the road. Porcello gets shelled all day, every day. Lamont Williams, max bet, Tampa Bay run line. I think I already copied and pasted, but I will again. And King Capo saying, just off the comments, I'll take it under, because we haven't seen an under. Everybody's on the over in this game, and nobody is on the under. And it's interesting when everybody's pushing the under, yet this market has moved towards the under. That's interesting. So everybody here liking runs, but this total opened over 11.5 at minus 120, and there's been a 17-cent move towards the under. 11.5 is a lot of runs. Kevin McGee says Red Sox and over. And there's Mississippi Kid in the house. Stay away. Mississippi Kid also pushed me towards Shevchenko. Thank you so much, my man. I had a bad weekend, and that was the lone highlight. So thank you, Mississippi Kid. Serious Business said we'll be on Boston next series. This is just a spot where, with the 30-cent move towards the Red Sox, yeah, I mean, Porcello's been better at home. But Eddie Oyer says 9-8 type game on paper. Gas Station Sushi joining us says max bet on the Twinkies money line. Shout out to Gas Station Sushi. Great capper. Much love to you, my friend. Alan Action says Montgomery is over 11 ERA on the road. The sample size is small, but I feel you, Alan Action. You know what? I'm not going to make a move on this Royals-Red Sox game at this point. Bookie Lover Q says KC might show up is what that tells me. Rich G says Red Sox Royals should clear 12 easy. Molly Mouse says actually 12 is a lot. Boston ain't hitting like the Twins. Matt Randall says, big game in San Francisco tonight. What's the read? Well, we know both teams are traveling into San Francisco, and San Francisco traveling from Colorado, where, as Russell Gordy will tell you, you leave your bats at home. So we shall see. Don Reed says, Twins might be my favorite play. Okay, I'm going to copy and paste gas station sushis. Max bet on the Twinkies. There we go. Copy and paste. And we're gonna skip Marlins Mets game 2. We're gonna talk about that after game 1. And it is a very tricky spot here with that game 2 of the doubleheader. Just for it's Robert Duggar making his MLB debut at AA Jacksonville, AAA New Orleans, 8.9, 5.33 ERA, 1.36 WHIP. He was much better in AA. He got lit up in AAA. AAA 7 starts, 9.34 ERA, and here he is starting for the Fish. And then we have Walker Lockett is 12 and 2/3. He's been hit hard in his 12 and 2/3 in majors. And at AAA Syracuse, he had really good numbers, 2 and 2/3. Well, good ERA, I should say. I mean, 31 Ks in 47 innings in AAA is not enough. 1.47 WHIP, not enough. So we'll talk about that game. All right, we're going to be joined in 3 minutes by Drew Martin. So let's get through this Rangers-Indians game next. We have 24-year-old Aaron Savali. AA Akron, AAA Columbus. He was spectacular. He came up June 22nd and faced the Tigers at home and was very good. There's what's not to like about this 24-year-old kid. 3rd-round pick out of Northeastern in the 2016 draft. In AA Akron, AAA Columbus, 7-1. 2.35 ERA, 1.09 WHIP, 72 and 2/3, 70 Ks, 15 walks, 7 homers. It certainly feels like we jumped on the Indians train at the right time. I just wish I maybe had added a AL and something else bet, but plus 1,100. Also, I wish I bet more than $125. But overall, what beautiful timing that we did jumping on the Indians. I think that they keep rolling. Shout out to our guy Christopher Smith in the house. Yes, Soroka is the pitcher for the Braves, right? But it's not Soroka, really? I thought Soroka was the pitcher for the Braves. Is that being changed? I don't know if it's being changed. It says Soroka where I see it, but we'll talk about that. Darmy's the second game for Mets, Miami starting a newbie. I mean, yeah. I understand why we trust Walker Lockett over. But I'm still going to wait and see what goes on, but I understand that. And Ray Williams says, for what it's worth, Royals haven't beaten Red Sox all season. Still neither Royals or no bet. I feel you. Serious Business says, riding Cleveland run line again. I get it. Poppy Longwood, thank you for watching Who is Jimmy the Bag. Respect. Okay, Rangers, Indians. So I like what Savali's been doing, and Mike Minor's looked terrible. Do we expect Mike Minor to be better now that he's actually staying? Maybe he's dealing with arm fatigue. 1-2 with a 6.59 ERA in July. I mean, that's why nobody picked him up. I don't think it's necessarily because these Rangers wanted him. He's allowed 4 earned runs in 4 straight starts, coming off allowing 5 earned runs, 5 innings at home. He's been he's a 3.24 ERA on the road, so he's not that bad on the road. All right. Shout out to BidXN in the house. Crate 999, Indians, Phillies, parlay on the run line. I want to keep rolling with these Indians. Let's see what the market move has been here. Cleveland, Texas. This total opened at 10, and it was juiced to the under. It's now at 9.5, so it's gone down a half run. Let's see what the money lines has done here in the market. Open up minus 183, and a 23-cent move towards the Rangers. Wow. 23-cent move towards the Rangers. So I'm going to keep an eye on this market move. That's a big move towards the Rangers, and that's certainly going to get me off the Cleveland Indians at this point. We are getting Drew Martin. Drew Martin coming in here any second. While he's getting himself together, I'm just going to leave that as a lean at this point. Let's touch on the Blue Jays Rays while we're getting Drew Martin in. Jays Rays, Waguespack versus Morton. I've started to believe in Waguespack. Big boy, 6'5". He's looked much better than I expected him to look. He had bad numbers in Buffalo, but he's been okay. And then we have Charlie Morton, 12-3, 2.78 ERA, 1.07 WHIP. Rays are rolling. They've won 6 straight. They're 17 games over 500, first time since June 10th. Jays have lost 2 in a row after winning the first 5 games of their 10-game road trip. The Blue Jays always struggle against the Rays. Rays are leading the series 7-2 and 3-0 at home against Toronto. They're at 20-8 over the past 2 seasons. Waguespack's faced the Rays twice, 1 start, 0-1, 5 ERA. The Rays have hit more than 1 homer in each of their past 7 games, tying a team record. They've scored at least 6 runs in 7 straight games. During that stretch, they're batting .320 with 36 extra base hits. Morton always has the Jays number 2-0, 1.82 in 4 career starts. Ulysses Hayes in the house. Cheryl Cardwell said Indians have a rookie pitching. I like that kid. I really like that kid. Wasn't drafted out of high school. He had to go to Northeastern to get drafted. I've loved everything about what I've seen from Savali, the Indians rookie so far. Boogie Lover Q says, Rays want revenge. Dom Ricci saying, in my opinion, it's Texas first 5. So Dom Ricci believing in Mike Minor. Wow, interesting. Von Bridges says, Rays money line. Let's take a quick look. At this spot. And shout out to Cheryl Cardwell. We need more female handicappers rolling with the low bag fam. We have Brooke Jordan and Red Girl who put so much energy into us. But man, shout out to Cheryl Cardwell. And we have Sue's 387, of course, with the punch in the gooch play the day out of Hawaii. But man, it's great to have Cheryl Cardwell in the chat. Okay, and there he is. There's Russell Gordon. He says, yeah, me here. Beautiful. Okay, so this Jays Rays spot, and then we'll have that game in the books. Opened at 8 at even money. It's now a 2-cent move towards the under, so still at 8. And Morton and the Rays open at minus 235. They're now at minus 255. That's a 20-cent move. Tormino says, I would never lay a big number with a pitcher off an extended time on injury list, high variance game. And let's see, how long was he just quickly? Let me just quickly see how long he was on this. Here we go. We're going to quickly get to this J spot. When was his last start? Morton's last start here. Charlie Morton. Here we go. Last start. Yes, last start was July 30th. So, that was just last week. He hasn't been on the IL. I guess you're talking about Spencer Turnbull. Okay. Guess you're talking about Spencer Turnbull. Okay. Russ Gordy says, Pirates are my only dog. Yup, Pittsburgh and the under. That does concern me, Laniel. Okay, let's bring in our guy. So I got no move on this Rays spot, but I do obviously like the Rays. They just seem to have the Jays number. And what would I be getting again on the run line if I took the Rays right now? Point spread. Also that first 5 point spread. Let's see. If I took the Rays on the run line here, I'm getting a minus 125. On the first half point spread, here we go. Toronto, I'm getting minus 155, so I won't be doing that. And another mistake was on that Friday when Kikuchi's so terrible going up against the Astros. Not taking the Astros on the minus 1 was really just a dumb play. And I didn't do it because the minus a half was a minus 200 by the time I was going to bet it at my book. And the minus 1.5 first 5 was minus 120. And I was like, come on, am I really going to take a minus 1 first 5 at minus 147 or minus 150 or whatever it would be? It's annoying. Okay, let's bring in our guy, Drew Martin, joining us on a Monday morning, every Monday morning and Tuesday morning and Wednesday morning. If you want to party with us, man, got to come to Miami. Join us in Miami. Drew Martin, what up? How you doing Monday morning?
Jimmy, I'm doing good, man. Happy Monday morning to you and the low bag chat box. I'm here in Fort Lauderdale, actually. Yeah, we're going to be partying at the Diplomat, not too far away from where I am right now. So really excited to get after this MLB card. I actually remember that Kikuchi spot that you brought up, and I'm kicking myself too. You know, the whole laying it with the run line and, you know, on top of that, minus 145 or so, and still just kicking myself right now, Jimmy. But we got to move on to the next one. Hopefully you had a good weekend, man. I
did not have a good weekend. I am angry, and I'm excited about Miami. That's about as much honesty as I give you. I'm a little, I'm disgruntled, and I want winners, and I want them now, Drew. I want them fucking now, man. Let's go. What's your first game on the card?
All right. Looking at it right now, Jimmy. Going to try to come up with some winners for you. I'm actually interested in both of these interleague games tonight. So both of them 8:05 Eastern starts, and kick off here with Oakland, Chicago Cubs, Bassett versus Hendricks. You know, Bassett been solid overall, struggled on the road. However, the lineups that he's faced on the road have been a lot stronger than the lineups he's faced at home. So not so sure that I put too much credence into his home road splits. He has faced at Houston and at Minnesota, whereas, you know, the teams like Chicago White Sox been facing at home. Both lineups 77 weighted runs created plus number the last 2 weeks. So under average, but have picked it up here of recent. Oakland and Chicago Cubs both on pretty good win streaks of late. Hendricks last 25 innings, only 4 earned runs. His last 12 innings, 0 earned runs, Jimmy. He's found it here of late. Also a 23-6 K to walk ratio over his last 25 innings. So he's pitching very well. I could see both pitchers actually having success here. The only problem is I saw the wind kind of blowing out, and it looks like depending which place you go for your MLB weather knowledge, you're getting a couple different readings here. And it being in Chicago, I would wait a little bit longer to get the correct reading. I agree with this move on the Cubs up from -145 to -155, but even more so, I'm interested in this total, Jimmy. And we're seeing it at double digits right now. Oakland's going to lose the DH here. I think both pitchers can have success against the opposing lineups. And I'm leaning towards the under here. You can still find it at 10, -110. Looks like at 5 dimes right now. So I like the under, but I'm going to wait to bet on this one.
Interesting. I think it's a very, very interesting breakdown. And the more I think about it, the more I kind of like where Tomor is at. Says Bassett struggled on the road with home runs and the wind's supposed to be blowing out tonight. I'm on the Cubs' first 5 run line. I think that's how you back the Cubs. I would be uncomfortable to back them full game. The A's just seem to never stop grinding at you. This is a tough series. And we just watched the A's absolutely roll through the Brewers and Cardinals. They're just playing good baseball. They haven't been to Wrigley Field since 2010. But the Cubs are rolling 1.5 games up right now. They've won 11 of their past 13 games at home. Rizzo, 347 since the All-Star break. And Chris Bryant sat out with knee soreness, but supposedly that's not serious. I wonder if we should wait to see if he's in the lineup. But Hendricks is rolling, as you said, all the stats you said, 2.25 ERA in the last 6 starts. Bassett's been very good as well, and the Cubs just don't seem to score. Jeff Joseph says, you'll be in Miami for the Travers. Yes, Jeff, we will, but we'll all be at the track together betting it hard. So, we'll be at Gulfstream and betting on the Travers. So don't be concerned about us not hammering the Travers, because it's I guess, the Derby always comes with anxiety for me. Maybe this is the most exciting spot of the whole season. Thomas says, I'd lean Oakland team total under, but the wind's supposed to be blowing out. I think Bassett gets hit. I kind of like this Cubs first 5. If you got a free play and I said you have to make it now, you can't wait to get more information on weather and stuff like that, one free play, total side, first 5 full game, whatever you want, what would be your favorite play?
I'd be on the under 10. And there is good arguments against it. The wind does look to be going out. I also read a report that there's clouds coming in that could change the wind to blowing in by game time. So it depends how you kind of want to read this. I'm not a expert weatherman by any means, but checking the weather right before, looking at those flags right before game time, I would be on the under. If you made me pick a side, Jimmy, I'd be with you. I think the Cubs are rolling right now, not looking to step in front of them.
Well, I'm going to make a move. I agree with Tomor. Bassett's been good, but this is very tough. And if I'm going to isolate Hendricks and Bassett with this Cubs team, remember the A's, they smashed lefties, not righties. And Hendricks is rolling at home. I think my best angle is Cubs first 5 -1/2 and -110. And that is what I am on. Nice work. That's a game we hadn't capped yet. Beautiful start, Drew. I'm on Cubs first half -1/2 and -110 rolling with Tomarino. Tomor, what's next on your card?
All right, Jimmy, this is where I think I can really get you a winner, man. And I want to hear your opinion as well. This is the game I bet before early this morning. We got Soroka and Odorizzi, the Braves and the Twins. And caught it right now. The market's pushing it towards the Braves -110 right now. And Odorizzi, look, he's not going deep into games. He's not been out of the 5th inning since mid-June. He does well against below average lineups. But when I say does well, 5 innings, 2 earned, pretty solid performances against the likes of the White Sox, Royals, teams like that. But he struggles against the better lineups. He gave up, I believe, a 9 spot to the New York Yankees. And when he goes against the Houston Astros, he gets banged up like that. So I'm not saying that the Braves are on that level, but I do think the Braves are definitely above average MLB lineup. And with the Braves trading for the extra relief core, and it hasn't paid off really so far in the last couple games, but as we go forward, I think the Braves will do better, especially in the back half of games. Soroka breaking him down. I know he's a guy Jimmy. I like this kid. And last time out, he had 3 walks and 3 Ks. Very scary performance. And scary in the sense it wasn't a very good performance last time out at the Washington Nationals. But the Washington Nationals, for whatever reason, see Soroka a little bit better than most other lineups that he faces. He also faced them twice in just a couple outings there in a couple weeks. So the same lineup in the same division, facing them a couple times. I thought that really favored the Nationals Nationals, plus the fact he was only on 4 days rest. For these young guys, only on 4 days rest, we do see their velocity sometimes drop. Their control not as good, and we saw it this time out. He had 3 walks and only 3 Ks versus the Nationals, 4 days rest. He still went 7 innings and only 1 earned. Now he's off of 5 days rest. And so I would look for his velocity to be back to normal. Also, the better control here. Braves have put up 4 or more runs in 8 of their last 10 games, and that includes 11-run performance and a 15-run performance. So here at pretty much a pick 'em price, pick the winner here. I like the Braves, Jimmy, and I bet it personally.
Very interesting. We've already had Gas Station Sushi come in loving the Twins as a max bet spot, and he says Soroka velocity down. The thing is with Odorizzi, he has become, thankfully, one of the few times we can say this, the easiest pitcher to cap. He gets smoked by left-handed bats. If you don't have left-handed bats in your lineup that can hurt him, he's going to roll right through you. And this is a spot where the Braves wish they had Markakis. So you have Albies, Freeman, McCann, Enciarte, and I'm sure they're going to, and Camargo switch hitter. So Acuna and Donaldson are going to be, he can roll through them. Albies, Freeman going to be tough. Guru says Braves first 5 all day. CT Bay, Soroka 4.08 ERA, 1 at home, 1.20 on the road. Wow. And Tormino says Atlanta has the lefty bats to get to Odorizzi. I mean, I'm sure they wish Markakis was in the lineup. Dansby is a righty, but Markakis is a lefty. Antoine Seymour said Twins a good home dog tonight. A problem that gets in the way is when I have a future bet where I just want the Twins to lose so bad and I can just sit back and seeing the Twins lose is like sort of a win for me. I like your breakdown, but Soroka from an eye test seems. And now Gas Station Sushi saying that he knows there's been a velocity drop. He hasn't looked as dominant, but of course that's an easy thing to say with a 21-year-old in MLB going through this whole thing. Laniel said Odorizzi's cold consecutive shutouts stay out. Matt Randall says Donaldson has 5 home runs off of Odorizzi. Let's go to pitcher versus batter because even that surprises me a bit. Now Donaldson and Odorizzi would have met up quite a bit back in the day when the Jays and Rays were going up against each other nonstop. Here, let me pull this up. Where is it? All right, where the hell is my pitcher versus batter? What the hell did I do with it? I don't have it here right now. I'll pull it up in a second. This game does concern me. Mr. Spectacular, loving Braves first 5. Eddie Orler leaning towards the under. I'm going to wait on this a bit longer, but seeing you on one side and Gas Station on the other makes me want to do nothing, really, to be honest with you. Backing the Braves, though, I get it. Very difficult. Russell Gordon saying Monday's under in effect. What's next on your card? I find this game extremely tricky, the one that you just capped.
Yeah, Gas Station Sushi, good guy in the chat box. Great name, by the way, but do disagree with him here, Jimmy. The other game I was interested in was the earlier start, the day game. My Miami Marlins playing the New York Mets, Alcantara versus DeGrom. And just this Marlins lineup, we've talked about it before, Jimmy, how they struggle against a lot of pitchers, a lot of profiles here. But the guys that get up there in velocity, especially the veterans that keep the ball down, can hit their spots, that's where the Marlins, man, they almost have no chance. So going against DeGrom here, I know you're going to have to lay minus 300, so we got to find different ways. They're the home team, so laying the run line with the home team. Try to stay away from those situations as well. Do look towards the under. But I just trust the Marlins to struggle more against DeGrom than I do against the Mets to struggle against Alcantara. So look for the Marlins team total under, like that spot. But as of right now, Jimmy, the Atlanta Braves minus 110, pretty much pick 'em price are the spot that I have going personally.
Well, that's sound. You're But there's some games still that we haven't touched on that I would love to break down with you. Back to the Atlanta-Minnesota spot. As we know, Twinkies have never seen Soroka. But against Odorizzi, Josh Donaldson 6 for 25, but 5 of those 6 hits have been home runs, which is wild. Wild. The sample size is only McCann and Donaldson. And even McCann from a lefty hits him hard. Maybe that dichotomy between success against righties and lefties is more of a this year thing. I'd have to go back in time to see if it's always happening for him. But other than McCann and Donaldson, no one's seen him. Duvall 5 at-bats, Freeman 3 at-bats, Flowers and Joyce 2 each, and that's it. So Interesting. CT Base with you on the Braves full game there. Interesting. Okay, we've got a couple games that we haven't capped. I'm on that game one, Marlins Mets. I'm on the first 5 under 4 at plus 102. Alcantara this year has excellent numbers in the daytime, and I know he's fixed his home and road problems. He was so bad on the road earlier in the year, but he's been bad since the All-Star break, so it's a bit of a risk. I do know that Robinson Cano won't be in the Mets lineup. Is the lineup out, by the way? I should check it out. Is it out?
I'm checking it right now, man.
Okay, let me see. Here we go.
In the Marlins also, on the trip up to New York, it's something to keep in mind for their lineup. In that tough citrus series against the Tampa Bay Rays, helping the Rays cause. By the way, Jimmy, man, the Rays all about betting on the Rays here going forward. It's just trouble to see what triple-digit number you're having to lay a high number here with the Rays tonight. But looking to bet the Rays, especially when you look at their schedule, man, for who they're playing in August, I think the Rays make the playoffs. And no, I'm not seeing a lineup out for Miami and the Mets.
Yeah, either am I. And I agree with the Rays, but such giant favorites right now is a little hesitant. All right, let's go through some of these games we haven't capped yet. We haven't capped Angels at Reds. Luis Castillo starting for the Reds, 29-26 at home, and the Angels look like a losing baseball club. And they've been dealing with so many injuries. I mean, Felix Pena tore his right ACL Saturday. They have Griffin Canning, inflammation on his throwing elbow. Andrew Heaney went on IL on July 20th. They're also out, and Andrelton Simmons out with a ankle injury. This is just seems like the time to fade them. And they do not want to be bringing up Patrick Sandoval right now, but they have to. They have to. And he's 22 years old. They got him in the Martin Maldonado trade last year at the deadline. 11th round pick, 2015 out of Mission Viejo High School. Luis Castillo going up against him. But his numbers, Sandoval's numbers in AA and AAA combined, 5.71 ERA, 1.74 whip. Now that's AA mobile, but AAA Salt Lake City in the PCL League, a tough place to pitch. And he was fine in AA mobile. But when he went up to when he went up to AAA Salt Lake, 4-4, 6.41 ERA in 15 starts. And what jumps out at you are the walks, first and foremost. He walks a ton of batters. This has to be a spot where we fade the Angels. Now they're traveling into Cincinnati. Castillo has turned it around. Tomer says Castillo hasn't been consistent off of great starts the last month. The line looks inflated. I don't trust Cole, though. Let's see what we're dealing with this Castillo spot. Here we go. Do I have the wrong? What do you mean he says Cole? I have. Let's see, make sure I have the right. Oh, damn it. Cole. It's Cole. Cole's going to be opening for Sandoval. So Cole's going to be, but thank you for letting me know. Cole's terrible. Well, I shouldn't say he's terrible. His numbers were fine until he got lit up in the last couple opening spots. But Cole, I guess, will be opening. You have any feel? You back the Reds quite often. Let's just see what it is. Money line, full game, and totals here. It's that's first half. My fault here for full game. Money lines and totals in this red spot. We're dealing with a big move towards the Angels. Wow, 36-cent move. Castillo and the Reds open up minus 230, then now minus 194, and no movement on this under 9.5. That's juiced to the under. You have a feel on this red spot in Castillo particularly?
Yeah, I mean, you said it. The Reds are a team I look to bet on way more than fade. It's just a matter of paying this price, especially with Luis Castillo on the hill. One of my favorite pitchers to bet on, just the profile. He's got control. He's got velocity. Young guy that hits his spots. I love betting on this guy. The Angels, I haven't had as good of a read on them, Jimmy. It's almost like when I bet them, they lose. When I look to fade them, they win. I don't know much about Cole in terms of bet on performance. 9.5 minus 200. There is a trend that I wanted to throw out, and shout out to Ralph Michaels on Twitter. Teams with losing records post All-Star break that are minus 200 favorites, like Cincinnati is today. Think about that. Losing records post All-Star break, minus 200 favorites. They've gone 18-3 the last 2 seasons. So there's something there. As far as trends go, I always watch them, and if they have something, I look to bet on them. I think that this one does. It's a situation, a profile that kind of, you catch these not very good teams, and the market's telling you they're going to win and placing a minus 200 plus price tag on them. I would follow that trend. I would look for ways to bet Cincinnati. It's always tough to bet minus 200 favorites. I don't like laying the 1.5 at home, but I am looking towards maybe the -1 run line, Jimmy, on the Cincinnati Reds.
Yeah, the Angels just seem like they've checked out. They've checked out. Then we've gone through A's, Cubs. I'm going to leave this lean here towards the Reds and figure out exactly how I'd want to bet it. Let's see. There's Noli Knows in the house. Noli Knows on the Angels. Cincinnati first 5 under 5.5. What is that money? So the money line would be like -194, and then the full game run line would be on this would be like +100. I don't know. I'm gonna wait a little bit on that. We have done A's, Cubs already, and Braves, Twins. I was happy that those were talked about. Let's move on to this Phillies Diamondback spot. Drew, Velasquez, Merrill, Kelly. Velasquez 3-6, 4.40 ERA. His throw from the outfield almost went viral a bit in that extra inning affair. Phillies are hitting 243, 735 OPS versus righties. D-backs 248, 747 versus righties. Velasquez has been good his last 2 starts, 2 runs and 10 2/3. Struck out 15 in those 10 2/3. 1-2 with 3.93 ERA in 6 career appearances against Arizona. Merrill Kelly's looked terrible, and we've talked about it on the show. These pitchers coming over from who've pitched in Asia. This is right around the time where they're not used to this long of a season, and the time off in between starts is less here in North America than it is in Asia, and it just seems like it's affecting him. 0-5 in his past 8 starts, giving up 7 runs each of his past 2 outings. Best start of the season came at Philadelphia June 12th, so maybe he likes going up against this squad. Let's see what the money lines and totals here are. Sorry, that's spread. So let's go money lines and totals here in this game. The total opened up at 9.5. It's now at 10, and the Diamondbacks opened up at -115, and now it's just a pick'em, really. A pick'em at this point. Do you have a angle or a lean on Philly, Arizona?
I think this is going to be a good game, fun one to watch. And shout out to tonight's card. I mean, a lot of the 9:30 and later games look to be great matchups, plus the 2 interleague matchups. But Velasquez, I'm looking to bet on him. Merrill Kelly, like you said, has not been good. I have Philadelphia as kind of a circle on, bet on, just because of these kind of trends and the bullpen advantage I would give towards Philadelphia. When you look at the last 2 weeks, Jimmy, in terms of K to walk ratio out of the pen, Philadelphia is number 1 in all of baseball, over a 21% difference from K to walk ratio here. We start talking about ERA from the pen, 3.44, one of the best in MLB. So post All-Star break, Philadelphia's bullpen, one of, if not the best bullpens in all of baseball. So I like this Philadelphia team, betting them on pretty much a pick'em price. I know they are on the road, other side of the country here, but still, I like Philadelphia. Just haven't got there to bet it, but I might buy first pitch, Jimmy.
Yeah, I agree. And Tom Marino saying Velasquez being solid against weaker lineups. Christopher Smith says, can't trust my Phils, Jimmy. Russell Gordon says, I don't trust Philly bats on road to get an over. And Nolan Knows says, I'm putting a big boy bet on Mets first 5 under. I'm on that. Not a big boy bet, but I'm on that. Mets first 5 under 4. I like Alcantara in the daytime. I think that we should be okay there. Tomino's talking about Diamondbacks against lefties. They're so strong against lefties, not against righties. This will be the last game. We've got to shut this bad boy down, but I like the look of Philly. They opened up at +105. They're now at -105. That all makes sense to me. And I know that the Phillies probably can't be trusted, but I mean, if we go up and down their lineup, I mean, it's just a better lineup than the Diamondbacks. And if they're getting bullpen help, and if Merrill Kelly looks vulnerable, all these to me point to a team where we should back in the Phillies against the Diamondbacks here. And that's why the market is moving towards them. So I want to make the move. I guess there's no point. Yeah, there's no point in taking a first 5 here, but I will take the full game Phillies. I'm getting -103 at Pinnacle. And I will take Phillies full game -103 here at Pinnacle. Beautiful stuff, Drew. Thank you so much for joining us, man. I love starting these Monday mornings, breaking down the card, and then having you jump in. Jose Ruiz, though, liking Arizona today, which I do not like seeing. And Mally Mal saying Angels Sandoval is horrible. Yes, I'm going to back the Reds. I just got to figure out the best way to do it when you're dealing with a big favorite. not that easy. Matt Randall on the Phillies. Russell Gordy says, CTB, I'm on D-backs. Definitely not Philly on the road. Okay, well, that concerns me to see Russell Gordy on the other side. It's just Merrill Kelly just seems so bad. And Velasquez just feels good about himself over the last little bit, playing the field and playing right field and feeling good about himself. Or was he in left field? Sorry, I think he was left field. So I'm going to stick with the way I have things now. Drew, thank you so much for joining us. Where can we find you on Twitter? And what shows you got coming up this week?
Yeah, at Drew Martin Bets on Twitter, Jimmy. Thanks for having me on, man. I'll be back tomorrow, Wednesday here, about 11:45 Eastern time on with Jimmy. And then we got the closing line. This past Saturday had some technical difficulties. Not sure if you heard, Google was changing their Hangouts, so we couldn't get it up in time. We should have it ready to go Saturday morning, 11 a.m. Eastern, breaking down MLB, CFL, and not much longer until college football kickoff. Just a couple weeks away. We'll be down in Miami for the Florida-Miami game. And we got Arizona, Hawaii in the late spots. That's going to be fun as well, Jimmy. But at Drew Martin Bets on Twitter, I'm going to jump on this Philly spot as well, Jimmy. I like this spot, and I like their bullpen. And in MLB, man, when you start talking about bullpen change, getting healthier, like Tamar said in the chat box, it is a thing that can kind of stay under the radar a little bit longer in the MLB betting market. So I'm looking to bet on Philadelphia going forward here, at least in the next week or so. But yeah, Jimmy, thanks for having me on. Always fun with you, man, and best of luck with your bets too.
Yeah, man, I much love to you. Love starting these Mondays with you. And I just can't wait to party with you in Miami. Christopher Smith doesn't want us to back his Phillies. Says they couldn't hit Lopez yesterday. I mean, this I'm the wrong guy to talk about Ronaldo Lopez because I believe in this guy and he's cost me $1,000, but I believe in Lopez. And if there was two pitchers that I could have starting against the Phillies right now, and it was Lopez or Merrill Kelly, the way Merrill Kelly's pitching would be a no-brainer. I'd take Lopez in a heartbeat. So I'm okay with that. Okay, this is my action right now moving forward. A lot of work to do on this card and can't wait to hammer it on the Late Show with you guys. I'm on the Marlins Mets first 5 under 4 at plus 102. I'm on the Brewers Pirates over 10 at plus 100 and the Pirates team total over 4.5 at plus 102. I'm on the Orioles first 5 at plus 205. Then I'm probably going to make a move on these Mets on the late game, but going to wait a little bit on that. I definitely have a lean towards the Indians, but need to take some more time on that. And then I have a lean towards the Reds, but need more time on that. Wow. Oh, I'm on Cubs first 5 minus a half at minus 110. And then finally, I'm on the Phillies at minus 103, and that's my entire card at this point. I like my card at this point in action. RKE404 says, thoughts on Blue Jays team total over 2.5? The way they're hitting, it just makes sense to me to take that over team total over 2.5. Let me see what it is at Pinnacle right now. I get why it's the Twatty Latte spot that he loves. 2.5 minus 138. You know, that makes a ton of sense to me, but I just need a little bit more time. Twatty Latte says, who'd you pick if Lopez versus Lynn pitched against each other? You know, if it was a cooler temperatures and I knew that their floppy tits wouldn't be sweating, I would like them both. But I would take Lance Lynn. Twatty, I would take Lance Lynn, especially in cooler weather. Oh, and Drew Daddy going to the Cubs game tonight. Last time he was hammering Cubs, he had $1,000 on the Cubs, and they took care of business for you. Shout out to Drew Daddy. Shout out to our guest, none other than Drew Martin. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We have a big card. So one afternoon game. Hopefully we come back in the black, and then we smash this in the afternoon. And don't forget, tomorrow, the first Audible live. We've done some, but this will be the first Audible. But most importantly, let's get after it. Let's start the week off with winners. Leche, hey, los bookmakers!